We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. John, this is episode 23 of our third season.
Good job, man.
Didn't I do good?
You did great. This is going to be a fun show. I can tell already. The energy is good.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
It is technically what I would call the off-season, Rick, but that said, we actually just had an event at Rocking Horse, which blows my mind.
Yeah, it was the first week in December, and I know some of our guests were at that show.
Yes.
So we'll have to talk about it, but Rocking Horse did something that they haven't had before, and they got it designed and put up, and that was the modified course, which is great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. When we were there, when were we there? We went in November, thank you. November, that was a long time ago.
I have to look off screen for that.
I was just looking to the audience. So yeah, we were there in November, and I saw they were building all the jumps. They're beautiful jumps. Sam Nicholson was actually building there.
Yeah.
And it looked great, and I heard the course was really nice. So yeah, exciting. And honestly, I will say, like, for the record, I was, when it all sort of came out with modified as a thing, I was against it.
You typically are. Have you read your name?
No, but I was like vocally against it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the idea, and I'm going to say something that I don't say often.
You were wrong.
I was wrong.
Say Mike Huber, you were right.
Mike Huber, you were right. It's great. It's awesome. The modified is cool.
I like it. He was absolutely right. Look, when you went from training to prelim, there was a big gap.
Totally.
Right? So modified just like put it right in there and helped you do the step up.
Now, one thing I'll put out there, though, that still is a problem.
The 1 star is lower than the modified.
Well, the measurements don't make sense. So if you build a modified course...
My fact is still true. The 1 star is lower than the modified.
Correct.
Okay.
Because the modified fences are wider. So if, as an organizer, you build fences that are wide enough on cross-country to meet sort of max specs for modified, you cannot then take those fences and use them for a 1 star, which is
So let me ask
ridiculous.
the question, then I don't know the answer. You
I
obviously
apparently
do.
don't
Is
either.
it's only the width, it's not the height?
correct.
Is there any technical differences between the 1 star and the modified?
Nope.
Or technically it's all the same?
It's all the same.
So the only thing we have to do in the modified is bring in the width
Yeah.
to match the
Yeah.
1 star. That's what Max was for. Max Corcoran, good idea.
But the problem is, so let's say, this is a real thing. Let's say you decide, okay, we're going to change that and say that modified
it's a
fences
big change.
have to be now
That width.
That width. All these people have built all these jumps.
know.
So now what do you do with that?
You just you use a chainsaw and you just like cut the back of them.
That's what we should do, a fundraiser for chainsaws for everybody.
I mean, it's not a funny thing.
Well,
but,
it's
it's a perplexing thing. Because I think we did the modified before the 1 star
Correct.
really came into play. So
the
everybody out there, we were on when the modified was going through. Did you vote no?
Yeah. I mean, no. I voted no.
Yes, you voted no.
Correct.
So you were the only naysayer. I remember.
I say nay. Yes, I was against it. But I was wrong.
Yeah, that's good. Mark this day, episode 23, season 3.
That's what you said.
This is a December whatever. You were wrong.
Yeah. That's it. There was one other time I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken.
When was that?
It didn't happen because I was wrong.
Oh.
Right. So, with that said, what we should get on to is there were some lists that have come out recently.
I know. One in particular. I think we have 2 in the room.
Yes. So, before we get into that list, we have the Eventing Pathway Elite Program members.
Okay.
And that was just released like Monday.
Who's on it?
So, we got Will Coleman with Off the Record, Philip Dutton, you know that guy, with Z. We got Ariel Grald and Leah Moore Master Plan. She's one of my all-time favorites, been on the show a bunch. She's awesome.
She's great.
Congrats, Ariel. We got Boyd Martin with Fetterman B, Lauren Nicholson with Vermiculus, Doug Payne and Quantum Leap, and Tammy Smith with My Bomb, Danito, and California.
Look at her site. I don't even know how
do you say it?
Way
I'm
to
going to try. I'm going to give it an honest try. Salaguier, California.
Say Tammy Smith's name.
Tammy Smith's
Very
name.
good. You did good.
Thank you. And then we have the 2023 Eventing Emerging Athlete Program.
Ooh.
This is a big one for us. So with that one, we've got Alexandra Baugh, Amanda Beal, Sophie Click, some chick named Cali Core, who's going to be on the show here shortly. We're pretty excited about that. We've got Alexa Gartenberg, Cosby Green, Tommy Greenard, who is based in California, one of the few West Coasters that's based in California.
Right.
We've got Kirsten Miller, some dude named Ben Noonan, who apparently is not scared of snakes like I am.
No, that was pretty cool. We'll tell you about it.
Yeah, Meg Pellegrini, Cassie Sagner, and Madison Temkin, who I think also, isn't Madison in California still? Yeah, and then also we still have Sophie Click is out in Washington most of the time.
Well,
So-
evidently she's moved out of California.
Okay, so she's not there anymore. I had false information. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. We're going to find out more from the two that are here.
Yeah, so we do have Callie and Ben here on the show today, which will
they're
be
right
pretty
over there.
exciting. They're actually in the audience. They're going to be cheering everybody on. So that's exciting.
I know. It's very cool. I know. It's funny they call it under 25, isn't it? 25
It's
and
not under 25. It is.
Okay.
It is
so
not
the
called that.
U25 is gone. It's just emerging athletes.
Yeah, I don't think I called it that.
You
It's
didn't.
the Eventing Emerging Athletes.
But it is called the U25.
No.
Under application it was. But see,
Yes.
thank you.
All right. I was wrong again. That's twice. I've been wrong twice.
All right. Let's talk about it though. So
I don't want to talk about it.
because 25 is an important age. It's 25 and under can make this list.
Apparently.
No, it's true.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just giving facts.
Is this true? All right. This is true.
You should know.
I'm on it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So let's go. Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's go. So we've got really the age group 25 and under, representing our, coming up and wanting to be representatives of our country. So I think it's really cool. We're developing those riders to be in situations where they get a lot of help and conditioning and moving forward into a setting that it's going to be great for them.
Yep. And I get to talk to Leslie here next about the whole program and the setup. And it's pretty cool because we'll get into it with Leslie, but part of this whole program that's changed a bit this year is they did the evaluation sooner,
Right?
so that when they do the sort of training camp in January, it's more of a proper camp as opposed to being evaluated and
And
looked
then
at.
kicking you off.
Right, exactly.
So this core group will probably keep going.
They're
then.
there to stay,
Good.
especially Callie.
Especially Ben.
Oh yeah, Ben too. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah. So cool. I think that's a great program. Now, any other programs out there that we have that has a list? Is that the only two?
I think that's the only two. There's
Yeah.
probably more.
But we just
I'm not
don't
going
know.
to say there's not because I've been wrong twice and I don't want to do it a third time.
Don't do it 4 times.
Yeah.
So you know what the process to go on that was an application process, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then
And that was very intentional because, as we've talked about in the past, in order to make teams and senior lists and things like that, you have to apply. So they wanted
Sure.
to make sure that these kids learn right from the start.
makes total
Got
sense.
to apply.
Big advocate for it. Kind of missed the application
I was
process for
laughing.
somebody that I know. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, Briggs.
But with that being said, do keep an eye on the dashboard and the USEF because you'll see online applications. You click on that box and then anything, and then there's a search box. So for eventing, you can click on that. You click all, and it will pull up any application that might be coming up for Nations Cups or Pan Am Games or Olympics. And so, as Bobby Costello would say, make sure you fill out the application.
Absolutely. You got to fill it out. If you don't fill it out and they want you, they
won't-
can't take you.
They can't take you because you didn't do the $75 application sometimes. Sometimes it's free.
Right.
Just depends.
I mean,
So,
in the grand scheme of things, with what we do, $75 to have a shot.
it's always like, that's the best one to pay, 75.
Right. Totally. Absolutely. You spend more than that at the bar on Friday night.
75.
Yep. It's only money. It's
So
only money.
very good. Well, I'm excited about hearing from Leslie what he's got planned for this new group.
Yeah. So why don't we take a break?
Yep.
And then we're going to, I am going to actually go.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah, you weren't there. Sorry. I'm going to go talk with Leslie, find out all of the dirty details about how the list was put together, and hear what he has to say.
That's great. And thanks to Stressless in our next segment.
Yep.
for being a segment sponsor. So great.
All right, we'll be right back. Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Dusty Rose Farm, a beautiful and newly renovated 25-acre farm, is offering long-term or seasonal rent, dry stalls, and layout. Located in Anthony, Florida, it's just 30 minutes to both Weck and Hits, 15 minutes to Majestic Oaks, 35 minutes to the Florida Horse Park. 38 stalls available for rent in 2 barns that have all the amenities. Large stalls with new mats and automatic waterers. Plenty of turnout, a half-mile irrigated track, 300 by 300 natural sand arena with a full jump course and dressage court. Loads of parking with 2 full RV hookups. Call or text for rates to book your stay in sunny and warm Ocala, Florida, 636-751-1200. I'm John Holling. We run Holling Eventing out of Willow Run Farm in Ocala, Florida. We run a full-service training facility here at Holling Eventing. We have amateur clients, we have sale horses, we teach lessons, and obviously our own competition horses as well. When Kurt first arrived at the farm, he was a little bit nervous and excited. Stress Less really helped so we could get him in a training routine. Stress Less is really easy to use. It's a part of our program. He gets it as a daily supplement and it helps us keep him focused and ready to go to work. This year we're moving Kurt up to the preliminary level. He's been doing great and I'm very excited about the season to come. I'm John Holling and I'd recommend Stress Less to anyone who wants to help their horses stay calm and focused. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are here in our Stress Less segment with the one and only Mr. Leslie Law, who we are going to today introduce as the emerging athletes coach. Is that right?
That's right. That's correct.
All right. So I've got the list here. We'll run through that first. So the emerging athletes list came out, and the names that are on it, so everybody has them, is Alexandra Baugh. Did I say that right? Baugh?
Yeah.
All right. Good
We'll
enough.
go with that.
Amanda Beal, Sophie Click, Cali Core. Good job, Cali. Alexa Gartenberg, Cosby Green, Tommy Greengard, who is actually West Coast, and he's the only one who's like based on the West Coast now, right?
Well, Sophie's in Washington, so I guess you could call her West Coast as well.
That's pretty West Coast.
Pretty
Yeah.
West Coast.
Okay.
Northwest Coast.
Yes. Aspen Farm, Seattle
Yeah.
area. Well
Yeah.
done. Then we have Kirsten Miller, Ben Noonan, Meg Pellegrini, Cassie Sanger, and Madison Temkin. So actually a lot of West Coast representation and really kind of all across the country. So before we get into like how the list was selected, was that like a thought in this, was trying to have kids from across the country, or was it truly just whoever was the best qualified got on the list?
No, it's purely on, you know, who has the merit to get on the list. Location really has nothing to do with it. It's down to how the assessments went, and the other, you know, some of them have met the criteria, others have been talent spotted. So it doesn't really matter whether you live in California or whether you live in Ocala.
Perfect. That's kind of what I figured, but I think it's good for everybody to know. Yeah. Okay, so take us back to the beginning of the year. People or kids, I shouldn't even say kids because it's not kids. It's
athletes.
Athletes, thank you. Athletes want to get on these various lists. And so to get on the emerging athlete list, what was the process for these athletes, these riders, to get on there?
Well, so for the emerging riders, there's basically a criteria that they meet. They have an MER at a 3-star long with no penalties on the cross country.
Okay.
So those athletes then can apply for assessments.
Right.
It also, but it doesn't stop other athletes applying for the assessments either. They might not have met that criteria.
So that's the little caveat where they can be talent spotted on.
That's where they can be talent spotted, yes.
So my question for that, before you go on with the talent spot thing, is can anybody be talent spotted on, or do they have to apply, and then if they haven't met, they can be talent spotted on?
They have to apply.
Okay.
You know, we feel that it's important, even at an early age, that they learn to apply for things, because the whole point of this is it's the beginning of the pipeline up through the levels, and even the senior riders are having to apply for Olympic Games, World Championships, and so we straight away we want to get the athletes into that way of thinking.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I know when Joni Morris used to work with the federation, that was her big thing. She said to everybody, was like, just apply. If you're qualified, or you think you're going to be qualified, apply.
Right.
Because you don't want to have us come to you and say, gosh, we're really interested, and then you haven't applied.
Exactly.
So that is a good way. All right. So these guys apply, they get talent spotted on, or get on through their own qualifications. Then what's the next step for everybody?
So normally what happens is if they've met the criteria, which I said is a 3-star long, with no penalties on the cross country, normally those athletes will go straight through to an assessment.
Okay.
And like I said, the other athletes that have applied, then that haven't met that criteria, they can get talent spotted into the assessment, basically.
Okay.
The assessments sort of have happened for the last 2 years, and they had very good feedback. People, the athletes and selectors and everybody really liked the idea of these assessments, where we got to see people, and it made a better process for being able to name people to the list. I mean, you can remember, you and I, prior to that, we sat on a committee where we
looked at videos after videos. Yeah.
And we felt that the athletes were getting missed through that process.
Right.
And so by doing an assessment where we had them in front of us, and so in the assessment, basically, we have 2 days. And on the first day, all the riders, they work on the flat, and then they explain to us what they were working on. And then usually what happens is I go out and we work on something as well. So we give the athletes something back as well.
Right.
And the same.
So it's an assessment, but it's also a lesson.
Yes. And the same the second day. The second day, we set up a show jumping course. They warm up, they jump the course. They tell us about their warm-up. They tell us about how they felt they rode the course. And again, we will then go out there and we might work over 2 or 3 fences, whatever we felt, basically.
When you set the course, are the athletes, the riders, are they there for that part of it as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's great.
So, that's the assessment. So it actually gets a bigger number of athletes in front of us, quite honestly,
right,
that we actually get to see with our own eyes. And then from those assessments, we draw up the final list, which you just named there, basically.
Okay.
And so what's happened the last 2 years is we always, as we said, you and I and the committee that we sat on used to draw that list up from videos and stuff, and then there would be a training session in January.
Right.
And that training session got replaced by the assessments.
Right.
But we actually want to try and do the training session as well. So this year we've brought those assessments forward, and we've actually been able to hold them in sort of October,
right,
so that we've got the list out already, and which I think is a really good thing, a really positive thing. And now it allows us also now to go and do a training session, a 4-day training session in January for these athletes.
Yeah, which, by the way, means Callie's getting 4 days off of work. So thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
She earned it. I'm excited for her. So these guys.
You aren't the first one to say that.
I know. It's like she came to me. She's like, I made it. I'm like, that's awesome. Congratulations. She's like, oh. I'm like, so when's the training session? Oh, it's in January. I'm like, how many days in January? 4. I'm like,
Yeah.
super. That's great. Yeah. Awesome. And I suppose you have to be there all day. Yeah. No. I'm like, oh God. No, but it's a super opportunity for these kids. So they do that 4-day training session, and it's just the athletes that were named.
So the athletes that have been named, they will be there with horses, and so that 4-day training session is to involve the sports science side of it as well. So we're going to have equine nutritionist, human physio, horse physio, vet, and so we're going to have different lectures as well throughout the week.
Cool.
Those athletes that you listed off, they will be there with their horses, but everybody who attended the assessment has been invited to that, and so the ones that haven't been named but that were on assessments, they are also able to attend and take part in the lectures and see what else goes on as far as the training with those athletes.
So they basically can audit all of the lessons and then take part in all the lectures.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
So it widens on, it widens the net, and it involves as many of these younger athletes as possible.
Okay. I mean, that's really cool. I didn't know that. So then what about the names I listed, the actual emerging athletes? After this training session is done, then is that it?
No, I mean, then it goes
So she gets more time off?
Yeah, hopefully.
Great.
Yeah. So hopefully then throughout the year, I will probably then go out more to those, to the places where the athletes are more often than not. The whole point with the training January session is bringing everybody together. So like I said, we can bring in the sports science people, whose obviously their time is extremely valuable, and so we can only get them together at a specific time of the year. And then the other interesting things is, we will have a European tour for them. We hope to do a Nations Cup for them.
Right.
And that is very much in the plans. Well, it will happen.
Right.
As well.
That's cool. And so that would be at the 4-star.
Yes.
4 shorts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. I appreciate you coming over. And
no, I look forward to dinner now.
Yeah, now we're gonna eat. So yeah, no, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you got a busy day tomorrow, so thank you for that, and thank you to you guys for watching. And we are going to be right back with Cali Core, and Ben Noonan actually is coming on as well, so that should be entertaining. Cool. The two of them.
Yeah.
And I promised them that they could say anything they wanted about you, because you probably wouldn't watch anyway.
Well, I will be now.
Yeah, now we will.
So be careful, Ben.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, Leslie's one of our best viewers. We're going to probably have to send him a t-shirt like we did all you guys. So thank you, everybody, for watching the Stress Less segment. Thank you to Stress Less for sponsoring the segment. It is truly a great product. Takes the edge off the horses. It's great for training horses at home, and also for any of your rehab horses, for working at home to kind of knock the edge off of them. And you were sticking your finger at me. What's going on?
Leslie uses it too.
Ah, Leslie uses it too. You use Stress Less.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Myself.
All right. Thank you, Stress Less, and we'll be right back with Callie and Ben.
I'm Gabby Ruane, and I run Ruane Eventing. I run my program out of Reddick, Florida. I start off in the morning bringing the horses in, feeding, and then tacking up and riding pretty much all day. It's always a busy day here with multiple horses in training. When Mufasa first arrived, he was quite sensitive and reactive as a young horse. I decided to start him on Stress Less. I've tried quite a few other supplements, and I felt like they all dulled him. Stress Less was the first supplement that really let me get through his tough moments, but I felt like he could still keep that spark that made him special. Stress Less helps keep Mufasa calm but responsive even through his tough moments. When Mufasa first arrived, he was quite reactive and sensitive, and I needed something to help me get him through those tough moments. Mufasa began his career as an event horse last year, and this year I hope to move him up to the preliminary level and then end the year with a 2-star long. I'm Gabby Ruane, and I would recommend Stress Less to anyone who wants their horse more focused and rideable overall.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. It would only take another person on the other side, and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Rick Wallace here, bringing you Equibrew, a live probiotic that is geared to help your horse's gut health. I'm a true believer in this Equibrew, and it really makes a difference in all of my horses. Equibrew is safe, non-toxic, and clean sport compliant for FEI and racing events. Equibrew is an intact fermentation product with very high numbers of beneficial microbes. Order at equibrew.com or 850-879-2649. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. John, that was a great interview, and with that being said, we decided to grab a couple of these people, Ben Noonan being one of them. Here he is. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Now, Ben, thanks for coming on. It's great to have you. So I guess the first thing is congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So take us through your season. How did things sort of go for you this year and pan out to get you on this list?
And who did the application?
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good
I
question.
did the application
for you.
myself.
Really?
All right.
I usually have my mom do all my applications, but I do the U25 application.
Let's see what he called it.
The U25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said you were right.
Yeah. But my mom does all my entries, so.
Aw, see, that's a good mom. Your mom still do yours?
I mean, Jen does, so kind of.
There you go.
Exactly.
So Ben, it's pretty cool. You made the list. Is this your first list, or this?
No, this
you've been
is-
on another one.
I've been on the U25s back 2 years ago.
Okay. So and that was with the kitty.
Kitty, yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I applied last year, but I wasn't able to make it to assessments because I was taking high school finals. So
That's
Sometimes that gets in the way.
sort of important. How did those go?
I don't know. I graduated though.
All right, then
So-
they went well. Good job. Good job. Okay, so seriously, so how was the season for you? What horses did you have competing?
I was actually a little bit nervous for this season because it was my first season. I wasn't going to have my young rider horse Keep Kitty with me the whole time.
Right.
So I bought 2 new horses, Street Fighter, we call him Frank in the Barn, and what's his
Like
name?
Frank in the barn.
Frank, no, we call him Frank around the barn.
All right, got it.
Yes, and then we have KO, which we call him Max. So Frank and Max, and Frank was a show jumper. This was his first season eventing, and he's really taken to it. So we started him out at training level and then modified, and he finished up with a 2-star long at Tryon. So we were just thrilled with him. And then Max, it was also his first year eventing. He's only 5 years old. So where am I going with this?
What did you do with him? Novice?
Oh, no, we did novice, and then we finished out the season at November rocking horse at training level.
There
So,
you go.
Awesome.
Have to be very proud of a
Man.
little.
Now I remember when you were going to get those two.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff going on. And when you brought Street Fighter over, I remember you just being really excited about him. I've seen him go. He's pretty cool.
He's super special.
So how did you do it? It seems like you did pretty well at Tryon.
Yes, he was top 10. I think he finished 9th overall.
See? Very good.
So hold on. Sometimes when we interview people, I only half listen, which is a big admission to me. But his name is Street Fighter.
Yes.
Have you ever played Street Fighter?
Yes.
It's a great game.
Yes, it is.
All right. So
I
and
don't
this
even
is
know
off
what that
topic,
is.
but I'm trying to get Street Fighter on Xbox. So when we get Street Fighter, because I'm trying to convince Caden that this is a good idea, you need to come over and we'll play Street Fighter.
We should do that.
Okay,
There you
back
go.
on track. I apologize.
And then Street Fighter, and then the other horse's name's KO, so knockout.
Oh, you can play. Have you ever played Mike
And it
Tyson's?
goes together.
Have you ever played Mike Tyson's
Was
Punch
that
Out
on
Old
purpose?
Nintendo?
Yes.
Never
Did
mind.
you name them?
I named both of them.
Good job, man.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
So,
Very
little theme.
cool.
And then the other 2 horses I got the pleasure of riding is Beatrice Rayherm's horses, First Class, formerly ridden by Leslie Law. We did some 2-stars together, and that was great. And then I am also able to ride Toute de Suite, and that's also owned by Beatrice, formerly ridden by Leslie. And he just did the new modified at Rocking Horse and was 2nd.
I know. I saw that. I was following. I was kind of looking over the scores, so that was good.
I'm very happy.
So what's it like? And this is a serious question. I'm not trying to be as funny as I normally am. What's it like getting on to compete horses that Leslie's trained?
Like
brought up?
both.
Yeah, I mean, they're both
They're
Leslie's
those two.
horses. There's got to be a certain amount of pressure there, but also it's got to be really nice riding horses that he's trained and.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get on these horses and they properly know their job. So it is a lot of pressure, but it's also, you have to combat it with, I was allowed to ride these horses, so obviously they trust me enough that I can ride these horses. So it gave me a lot of confidence into the season across all my horses that, I'm trusted to ride these horses, like I can do this.
But to that point though, Ben, I mean, First Class isn't, he's a cool horse, but he can get electrified. So you've done a really good job. Because, I mean, we've seen Leslie. He's done a great job with him, but you do good with him.
Thank you.
You even do well.
Do well.
Yeah.
Oh, he wanted to get me on camera.
Well.
And so it's cool watching you. You did, where was your last one with First Class? Was that?
Terra Nova.
Terra Nova.
He finished third in the 2 shorts.
Yeah, very good.
Awesome. Oh, well done.
Thank you.
So what's the plan for 2023 coming up?
You know, it's always a bit tentative. So right now, my aspirations for 2023, which are large-ish, would be to move Street Fighter up to the intermediate level in 3-star and see how he does. And then Max KO would hopefully go 2-star by the end of the season. So he has a long time of the training and modifieds this winter and spring season. And then hopefully we can push him up to the 2-star level by the fall.
Very good. How old is Street Fighter?
He's 10, turning 11 next year.
So when he came over, what experience did he have over there?
He was a show jumper.
Okay.
And so he's done the meter 40s, and he was actually a stallion before we bought him. But he was a stallion show jumping, and then I believe how the story goes is he wasn't doing too well. He wasn't proven to be a breeding stallion. So then they gelded him and sent him to an eventing lady. So they told us he had 5 cross-country schools when we tried him, and I think he did 1 USA novice level event over in Germany, and then when we bought him and kind of gave him time to settle down back at our farm in Missouri, and then when we brought him down to Ocala, we started competing him.
That was a good segue to Missouri.
Yeah. So let's take us back to Missouri. Mm-hmm. What got you into the sport?
Queenie Park Horse Trials.
Oh my God, I've been there.
You have?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like 3 minutes away from my house.
Yeah, I did the adult championships there one year.
Wow.
Years and years ago.
But what got me into eventing, my dad, so we bought a horse and we were boarded right across the street from Queenie, and then you can't just have one horse to go trail riding on, so you need 2. So they bought me a horse so we could go trail riding as a family together. And
do you think they regret it?
No,
okay,
actually.
Awesome. That's great.
They regret it financially,
right?
But
that's what I meant, really.
In memories,
In memories, they do not regret.
They do not regret at all. And so we had these trail riding horses, and then we were at a 100 jumper barn, and the jumping kind of looked fun. And when we would go trail riding, we'd see all these cross country jumps out on the property at Queenie. And we wanted to jump them, but of course we weren't able to jump them because we would get bucked off of our trail riding horses. I mean, a lot of times in one day. But then I was really into dressage actually initially. Right. I wanted a Frisian black dressage horse. I don't know. I think he was from Mississippi. It's a specific one I remember on
one that you wanted.
This is a particular horse.
This is a particular horse, and it made me want to do dressage. It was a black Frisian in Mississippi, and it was $35,000, and that was the coolest thing.
That was your vision board.
Yeah. So we went to look at the dressage fields at Queenie. Well, and they happened to be just setting up, and my dad and I were just getting back from the lake, and then we had all this lawn maintenance equipment, and we asked them if they needed any help, and that's kind of how we got into volunteering and jump judging.
Oh, wow.
And then
so you volunteered and jump judged before you ever really got into the
eventing.
That's so cool.
And then
I knew I liked you.
What year was that? Come on, pull it out, Ben.
Just guess.
It would be 2012 or 2013, maybe 2014 somewhere.
So you did volunteer?
No, it was 2012 because we bought
So
the
what
farm.
volunteering did you do?
Jump judging was the main, and like mowing.
You volunteered to mow?
Well, I didn't, but we had 2.
How old were you then?
2012, I was like 8.
So did you ever make a mistake jump judging and like blow a competition for somebody?
Don't admit it.
Tell us.
It was,
Don't do it.
Yes, actually, it was a starter level horse trial.
You ruined somebody's starter level horse trials.
No,
for
I
you?
remember my dad and I were parked out in the field with a car, and I was standing on the roof of the car.
Oh, no.
And I was supposed to watch all the jumps, but everyone was just breezing by at the
So you
starter
just
level.
kinda got
I was kind of daydreaming
about
and
the Frisian in Mississippi.
So what happened? What did you make a mistake?
apparently someone had a stop that I didn't see, and I didn't report it. And then when they tried to ask me about it, I was like, there is no stop. What are you talking about?
Well, I guess
Sounds
that's
like you.
better than saying they did stop when they didn't.
Yes.
But
So yeah, it happens sometimes.
Happens
Well,
sometimes.
you're 8. We'll let you slide. So I want to hear some more. So we can take a break and come back, and we're going to keep going from Missouri back up the chain to how you got here.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds
we'll be
good.
right back.
Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance. So we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them.
Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com.
Dusty Rose Farm, a beautiful and newly renovated 25-acre farm, is offering long-term or seasonal rent, dry stalls, and layout people. Located in Anthony, Florida, it's just 30 minutes to both Weck and Hits, 15 minutes to Majestic Oaks, 35 minutes to the Florida Horse Park. 38 stalls available for rent and 2 barns that have all the amenities. Large stalls with new mats and automatic waters. Plenty of turnout, half-mile irrigated track, 300 by 300 natural sand arena with a full jump course and dressage court. Loads of parking with 2 full RV hookups. Call or text for rates to book your stay in sunny and warm Ocala, Florida, 636-751-1200. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are still here with the Dream Breaker, Ben Noonan. So Ben, when we were talking in the last segment,
Why Dream Breaker?
because you ruined that poor starter person's competition, they were going to win, and you missed somebody else having had a stop because you were too busy
got
daydreaming.
it.
You ruined that person's dreams.
Now we're on track.
Okay.
You threw both of us for a loop. I was like, wait, what did you do, Ben?
Just
Yeah.
saying, you broke some poor kid's heart.
All right, we're online now. Go.
Okay, so anyway, look, he looks so upset now. I'm sorry, I was just teasing you.
No, I'm wrong.
What I meant to say was thank you for volunteering.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes. So you are jump judging, volunteering at Queenie Park Horse Trials, giving back to the sport, which really at that point is not giving back. You're giving to the sport because you haven't evented yet.
Yes.
So you did that.
Good point.
I mean, yeah, so thanks. I mean, seriously, I was giving you a hard time, but honestly, that's what it's all about. So now you've done this, you got your taste of eventing. So where did it go from there? What was your first event horse? How did you get going?
My first event horse was on the unrecognized side of things, was my buckskin pony that I did mounted shooting on. And
You did mounted shooting?
yes.
Sweet.
And he was a Western guy, and it went terribly. Like, it was the worst idea you could want, because he was a cutting horse,
Right.
And he was spooky. So
And you were shooting.
well, no, this is on cross country
Oh,
now.
okay.
He's a cutting horse that's spooky on cross country that wants to get back to the barn or not leave the start box, and I mean, he could spin very, very fast.
But you
So,
know what? That's good for kids when they start out, because if it's too easy, then they're like, oh, eventing's such a
well, look where
breeze.
you are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
What was his name again?
Derringer?
Derringer, I love it. Okay, so you go to your first event. How'd it go?
He's obviously spun.
Yeah, I think I fell off at like the 3rd or 4th fence.
And could you still get on at that point? And
Nope.
keep it? No, you were done.
You're done.
Yeah. I can relate. My first event horse didn't jump ditches or water, which made cross country difficult.
Mine didn't jump logs. I have to be.
You're really out of it.
That's even
So
worse.
let's speed this baby up. So we got Derringer, and then what was the one that then made everybody decide Ben can ride?
It was my hunter jumper pony, Spuds.
Okay.
That I think it was Spuds. He was a small pony I rode for actually another farm in St. Louis,
Right.
and he was a bad stopper, but somehow he was a very nice pony, and we got going. And then after that, one thing led to another, and I had my old another event horse, Angel and Riley, and that didn't really go well. And then I had another pony named Denzel and another pony named Hobbs, and those were we did the hunter jumpers, and those were really the good one.
The segue
into my parents going, okay, we can buy him a nice horse.
So just because I know a little bit about your history,
Yep.
you weren't always tall.
No, I was not.
So, thus riding the ponies and what you're doing. Then I do remember you got a really cool horse
I did.
called Keep Kitty, who's not that big, but you weren't that tall.
I wasn't that tall.
So tell us about her, because she was really cool.
So we get a call up in November in like 2016, I think my dad and Karen O'Connor, she goes, hey, I found the perfect horse for Ben you need to buy. And my dad's like, okay, how much is she? And she was like, she told him the price, and my dad went, oh no, that's a lot of money. And then she also explained to him that she's in Germany and needed to be imported. And my dad, of course, said no. And then my dad dropped me off at school that morning, and then he went back to my mom apparently and said, we're buying the horse, and he bought the horse. And then she really, I mean, from my first recognized event that I actually completed to my first 3-star longs and young riders, I mean, she did everything.
Right.
So she's
you were winning on her. You were doing really well.
She was awesome. She is awesome.
Did you, I'm trying to remember at Jersey Fresh, what you did the 3 long.
I did the 3 long.
The last Jersey Fresh that we had.
Yes.
Because she was really great there.
Yes, she was 5th there, and she was 3rd at the Great Meadow 3 long and 8th at Tryon 3 long.
You've seen her go.
Yeah, she's an amazing horse. She's
amazing.
So where is she now?
She's in the backyard of where I live right now. We're trying to breed her and hopefully get another young horse. She's just a bit difficult.
Who did you choose?
It's in limbo right now because we had a stallion picked out named Harold 3, and he's a stallion out of Heraldic to bring thoroughbred into her.
Right.
And she's not wanting to take on frozen semen, so now we are trying to look for a live semen or a chilled semen.
Yeah, it gets tough sometimes. Sometimes on the frozen also, it's the antibiotic that they use for the extender, and it's tough.
Yeah.
So you'll figure it out.
Yeah. So now I want to actually use my horse Street Fighters. His father is named Limbus, and I would like to try to.
Oh, that's
it's
a cool
still
cross.
it's still
like
frozen,
fresh.
but
Frozen.
it's still frozen. But it might be different than this stallion, is what they tell me. So I think we're gonna try him once, and if she doesn't take on that, then we're gonna go to.
And
chilled.
what is she?
She's a Hanoverian.
Okay, so that's where you want more blood.
More
in there.
blood.
Right.
She has 26.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't know that. She has the heart of a thoroughbred, but.
Right. You wouldn't know that. Well, that's cool. So Street Fighter, you have big dreams for 2023. Is the 3 long at Tryon, or it won't be at Tryon. It'll be at Terranova.
Spring is Tryon.
No, I'm talking
Autumn
about.
is
So
Terranova,
autumn's going to be Terranova. Would that be the
Hopefully, if everything goes well, a 3 long somewhere would be.
somewhere?
Yeah. It would be just
Very cool.
great.
Awesome.
I like that plan.
Yeah. Do it. It's going to be an interesting year next year with the whole revamped calendar and all of that. So have you started to look at how you're going to get to your events?
No, but I'm assuming.
Might want to.
I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of rocking horses in Ocala.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably.
Yep. And Terranova. I'll go back to every Terranova they have. It's stunning.
great,
You
huh?
have to go to Terranova if you've ever been, if you haven't been. And so Terranova is definitely for sure. And then the rest of them, the open date for the events are so far away. I haven't looked at them.
They're not that far.
I mean, they're a good 3 weeks.
Carolina's a good one. We're doing Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina's
Carolina.
great.
Obviously, Red Hills is out. So, yeah, I'm looking at it. And to his point, I mean, I did the calendar in November for 2023.
Yep.
It's just because they come up fast.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you won't always have your mom to do the entries.
Yeah, hopefully this year, though. I'm still praying.
One more
One
year.
more year. Yeah. Well, let's do this. Why don't we take our break?
Okay.
So we have some time for Callie. And Ben, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Just for the record, I haven't looked at the calendar for next year either, so don't worry about it. I was
His
just
wife has, though.
Yeah, but Jen knows what's going on. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back with
And for the record, before you push that off, I have looked at the calendar.
Of course you have.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
I'm John Holling. We run Holling Eventing out of Willow Run Farm in Ocala, Florida. We run a full-service training facility here at Holling Eventing. We have amateur clients, we have sale horses, we teach lessons, and obviously our own competition horses as well. When Kurt first arrived at the farm, he was a little bit nervous and excited. Stress Less really helped so we could get him in a training routine. Stress Less is really easy to use. It's a part of our program. He gets it as a daily supplement and it helps us keep him focused and ready to go to work. This year we're moving Kurt up to the preliminary level. He's been doing great and I'm very excited about the season to come. I'm John Holling and I'd recommend Stress Less to anyone who wants to help their horses stay calm and focused.
Rick Wallace here, bringing you Equibrew, a live probiotic that is geared to help your horse's gut health. I'm a true believer in this Equibrew, and it really makes a difference in all of my horses. Equibrew is safe, non-toxic, and clean sport compliant for FEI and racing events. Equibrew is an intact fermentation product with very high numbers of beneficial microbes. Order at equibrew.com or 850-879-2649. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are here in studio with another member
Of the emerging athlete.
I was going to say under 25, but nobody did it. Cali Core, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So are you excited to be on this list?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I know somebody next to you right here kind of...
He helped a little bit. Just a little.
So tell me, is this your first list?
No, I think I was on the list. I think it was like 2019 or 2020.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but this is exciting for you because you have two really cool horses. Mm-hmm. So tell us about what's going on with that, how this happened, how it came along.
So I moved to work for John like 2 years ago, and I came to him with a 5-year-old horse named Mastermind, who I call Dexter in the barn.
Right.
And he's so cute. And when I actually first brought him to John's, he was like lame, and so it was like a really slow progression. I had just bought him. It was really terrible.
Like my horse
I was
that's
really
lame.
upset. It was not helpful to John. And so it just was like a really slow progression with like even just getting to ride him or whatever.
Right.
So I finally got to start riding him thanks to the vets and John. And so he was really great. So I think I did like one novice on him with John and then training. And then this year he moved up to preliminary and did his first 2 long.
Seems like you won something. Did you win?
Short? Yeah, I won the short at Chaps on him.
She's done a really good job. And just to sort of fill in a little bit to Callie's point, the horse showed up and he was funny. There never was anything wrong with him.
There was
he just
never
was
anything
a big,
wrong.
weak, loose.
He's a big horse
and took some
It
time.
was just weird.
Took some time to just get right. And strong enough behind it. But it was a lovely horse. And so you started out in Texas and you rode out there with Angela?
Yes, with Angela.
Yeah. And so did she help you find that one?
Yes, so I bought him literally 2 months before I moved to work for you.
Right.
So with Angela.
With Angela Bowles, you ended up finding him, right?
Yes.
So.
He is, what is he? He's Holsteiner, but his dad is full thoroughbred, so he has a lot of blood.
So good blood.
Yeah,
Yep.
a lot of blood.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse.
He's
the one that you did in the Lucinda clinic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah, he's really fun. He's a really good jumper.
So what has been the biggest, he came 2 years ago, y'all got it all straightened out, you started up, you're going, what has been your biggest challenge in training, getting ready for what you've been doing? And then you can tell us how you did it too long.
I think with that horse specifically is he's so lazy on the flat. I tell John every time, like, he's actually not fun to ride. Right. And John knows because he agrees.
Yeah, no, he's not fun to ride. He's fun to jump.
He's really fun to jump.
When you say lazy, is it just behind your leg in the dressage?
So behind the leg.
So you're like going...
Like the whole time, you're just
So you don't like the FEIs because you have a whip.
Exactly, it's terrible.
You're like,
I had a dressage lesson at the assessments with Leslie. Literally the whole time. I probably shouldn't say this, but literally the whole time in my lesson, he was like, "Just keep hitting him."
That's not really what we mean.
But in a good way.
But in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
We said tap tap.
Yeah, tap tap again, and
Tap,
again.
tap. Well, it's for those out there that have never ridden a horse that's behind your leg. I mean, and you're out in a dressage test. Let's just say you're going in a too short or too long, whatever. When you're trotting into the ring, you're like, oh, please, just get in front of my leg, right?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of stuff you got to do.
Absolutely.
And then the opposite of that is one that doesn't get behind your leg,
Right.
Yeah.
and you're running out in front of it. So, it's a big thing. So have you figured out how to spark them up a bit?
A little bit, yeah. Honestly, it's nicer taking him to the horse shows because he lights up a little bit.
Right.
So, like, honestly, like the stadium at Tryon was really helpful.
So there's not a lot of lunging involved in the
No.
mornings.
But he's so weird because he's so behind the leg on the flat that then I take him into the show jumping
Sure.
rings at those
Adrenaline starts
places,
going.
and he's like kind of a nightmare
Right.
sometimes. So it's really iffy.
Yeah, I think
He's just weird.
but he has improved tremendously. He was a lovely young horse. I mean, absolutely the right horse, picked out very well. But he's prone to wanting to be a little bit lazy. And I think what we've discovered with him, right, is the longer Callie has him and works him and trains him, he is
Right.
getting
He's
better
getting
to
so
the
much
leg.
better.
Of course
yeah,
they do.
so much better.
I get that you can get a horse to where sometimes they're behind the leg because they just don't really have any enthusiasm to do anything. But once you get to a certain level, I think they start
Yeah.
getting a little bit more out there. So that's good.
Yeah.
So tell us about the too long. How did you do?
My Dexter horse, I think he finished like 12th. I went a little slow because
That's okay.
I was
He
a
spends a
little
lot of
slow.
time in the air. He's a good jumper.
He jumps really big, but he loves cross country. Like taking that horse cross country. Besides the spooking, you can tell he loves going cross country. So it's really fun.
So this was at Tryon, right? So were you a bit worried? How was he with the wet and the footing and stuff?
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was surprised. My other horse, Glacier, he's not mine. He's owned by a lady in Texas.
Is that the other bay?
Yes.
Okay.
He was phenomenal. He honestly loves the mud. He just goes out there and ate it up.
So you had two in the too long.
And Glacier finished 4th.
Well, that's great. So
he
you
was
got
awesome.
two on your string. We didn't even talk about
Yeah.
Glacier. So
Glacier.
tell us about Glacier then.
So I got Glacier as a 4-year-old from Kelly, and she
Kelly.
Kelly Case.
Okay, from Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she trusted me with him, and so it was really fun. I jumped him over his first log, and then took him to his first too long.
Jumps logs.
He jumps logs.
Yeah,
unlike
so he's
Ben's
got,
pony.
you got that.
Jumps logs.
Well done.
And so that was really cool. The whole experience was really cool for me because it was kind of having your first owner.
Sure.
So learned a lot about
Which
that.
you're young to have your first owner.
Yes.
That's right.
Still learning about that. John helps a lot.
John's still learning about that.
Still learning about that as well. Yes.
And then also just to it gave me a bunch of confidence in a little bit of ways that I can produce young horse from jumping its first log up
That's awesome.
to a too long. And he was really great, and he taught me a lot. And he is back on vacation in Texas, and I'm not really sure what he's gonna do next, but he was a great horse.
Well, good. That was cool.
And I know this is Callie's interview, but I will just say it's been really cool having Callie come because she did have Courage, her horse before these two, who went on and did great things, and then Callie had to restart with these two young horses, and she showed up as a really sweet, nice kid who
And
rode.
she's still a sweet, nice kid.
Well, I'm taking that out of her
Mostly.
slowly. But she showed up with these two very green, raw horses. One that, as we discussed, is behind the leg.
Right.
One that is a very nice horse, but was kind of loose and gangly and awkward and just a big, gangly, lovely young horse, but
In
raw.
my first lesson, I had my first lesson with Jen when I moved to John's, and I thought she was just gonna ask me to leave. It was so bad. The horse wouldn't put his head down. It was just terrible.
Well, that happens.
but they were lovely horses, but very raw. And to see
Yes.
her come along in these 2 years and get the results she had at Tryon with both of them was really
It was really
rewarding as a
exciting.
coach, but actually it made me very happy for Callie because she puts in all this effort, and to get that done was great.
And that's
Thanks,
super.
John.
So it's been a great experience with them. And how about the next thing in line? Is there something coming in or?
Yes, luckily, John and I just got back from a trip, and so I was able to get a really nice 4-year-old mare that I'm
right.
really excited about. And
What's her name?
Zara.
And she is Irish?
She is
Zangershide.
Zangershide. Yes, Zangershide.
Very cool.
Which
And
means
she's 4
some
coming
something.
5, right? So
Yes,
she'll
4
be
coming 5. Mm-hmm.
And is she done? She's green broke, just
Done
another 4-year-old green.
anything. Hasn't jumped a single cross country jump,
Cool.
so we'll do
here you
that,
go.
and that'll be really fun.
Well, now you got the Hollings. You got
yeah,
plenty
it'd be
to jump.
great. We'll
They'll jump a log.
We'll jump lots of
Water,
logs.
stitches.
Yep.
Everything.
If she's bad, I'll make John ride her.
Oh, perfect.
Another
I hope
chest-
she's bad then.
When did she get here?
So she gets on a plane next week. So
Right.
hopefully,
Yeah, well, because she's a mare, right? So hopefully she should be up to Ocala by end of.
Well, she quarantined in
Yeah, she'll
Ocala.
quarantine in Ocala over
Yeah.
Hope Hall is the
So a
plan.
lot of people out, if you're listening, when you bring over from England or across the pond, geldings come in on a 3-day short quarantine mares, 16 days.
What has to do with numbers of tests? They
Tests
do
that they have to
swabs,
do,
and they
right.
have to have the swabs come back, and it all depends.
And a lot of people say, well, why? And I'm like, well, it's just because.
just how it is.
Well, it's because of the breeding. So I think
Right.
a stallion takes longer too. But
Sure.
Yeah, it is because of breeding.
Right. And geldings are just no-goes, so they can come
They're
on in.
easier.
Right. There's no breeding involved.
There's just in and out. And
Yeah.
there you go.
I really didn't want a mare.
That's typically what
but-
happens when you don't want something.
yeah,
That's what you get.
That's exactly what you get. And
Yeah.
I didn't want a bay one, and I'm getting a bay one.
So I have to ask you, Callie. So we were over there and we're looking at all these horses, and there was the one that I really loved,
yes,
And-
that I did not like.
and she gave me the look of like, this is not happening. I'm like, this is the one. I even like got into it. I'm like, it's the best horse we've seen the entire trip.
And I was like, no chance.
Yeah. And then
What
there
was it?
It was a beautiful horse.
It was a nice
Just
horse.
nice big gelding,
Just not for
purpose
me.
bred, beautiful, but it was probably my type more than Callie's type.
Right.
And then there was a beautiful jumper type
Yes.
that we saw early on the trip that you loved,
Yep.
and I was like,
No.
And so then we were driving to the last place,
Mm-hmm.
and what were you doing in the car?
Naming the horse that I thought I wanted.
And I kept saying,
Wait, you have to see these last horses.
right, like we have 5 more to see. Do not do this. Stop naming your horse. And so we go on and we look at these horses, and then this mare comes out.
And
Callie
we were
gets
both
on it.
like, this is it.
Yeah.
Like
There
she
you go.
stood out of all the horses.
Well,
She
that's
was perfect.
awesome. So I'm excited for that.
And being
I'm really
me,
excited.
and being the humble person that I am, I looked at Callie and I said, I told you
you.
so. Don't name it horses early.
You were right for once.
I was right, thank God.
It's got a check on the good side.
Yes.
Well, great. So she gets here, and your plan for her is just to get her started and
Yeah, she'll
Do
a
things
bit of a
and-
break, gain
yeah.
some weight, and then start riding her.
Yeah.
Well, great.
I think you'll get to ride her over at Hope Hall a bit.
No,
I hope so.
You know, and I know you.
I'm gonna
your-
go see her every day.
Your days are busy because you help John out too, right? And so there'll be just the 2 because Glacier's in Texas right
Yes,
now, and then you'll have those 2, and then you get to do this whole stuff with the
Yeah,
emerging athlete.
yeah, I'm really excited.
So masterminds plans for 2023.
Well, we get to go to a training camp with Leslie in the beginning of January, so that'll be like a good start to the year. It's always helpful to get input from everyone.
Sure.
And I think what's cool about that is also you have like lessons with Leslie, but you also just get to talk to him and go through
Kind of
plans
bounce
and
things
yeah,
off the wall
exactly.
and see what we need to do, where you're going to point to. Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes you know, people.
I mean,
don't,
I hope John already has my plan, but if he doesn't,
Well, we just went over this with Ben. I have not yet looked.
Well, you know, some people accumulate for a long at the end of the spring season, and some say we'll just do shorts and do the long in the fall.
yeah, I
Yeah, you
think
just-
Dexter will aim to do a long in the fall,
Yeah.
hopefully at the 3-star level.
Yep, just getting them all strong and ready to go. So
Yeah.
it's a good plan.
Yeah.
He's a
I'm
good
excited about that.
one. Me too.
So I'm excited to see.
Me 3.
I'm excited about seeing y'all work with Leslie and go through the year, and we'll keep eyes on you.
It'd be really fun.
Really like this.
Awesome.
John's always watching.
That's right, always.
Well, thanks everybody. We will be back with a Christmas episode.
That's
I think.
right. I know. I was actually thinking I've got to go start shopping for a new sweater. I missed it.
I've got a closet full of sweaters, but we can like cut them off.
Oh, cutoff sweater.
Boy.
You can do the cut off
Terrible
thing.
plan.
I don't know. So join us on the next show, but thanks for joining us on this show. And thank you
Thank
for
you
being
for
with us.
having me. Thank you guys.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.